Let's see. Let's see. Right. Good morning. Good morning. Am I live? I think I'm live. I think it just went live. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. So my name is Nick. I am the local South Florida Uber driver. I'm local just because you never really know where I'm gonna be in the next couple days, months, years. Hey, but I primarily work the South Florida market. In today's video, I sped through that a little bit. 'Cause today's video, today's live stream, man, I'm just talking to you guys. It's been a while, a couple days. Yeah, I'm kind of having this conversation in the Telegram group, so why not? um, why not bring it to reality? So, I guess I'll get right into it. Uh, Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. So, you guys have all kind of known, at least since I started my channel. It's been about 2 years. Been a huge proponent of having a Tesla to do rideshare, just because the Tesla basically gave you all of the platforms. So you would get Uber, you would get I said Uber. On Uber, you would get uh, a basic X, you would get X, you would get Comfort Electric, Premier Hourly, and I think that's yeah. Comfort, yeah, and I think that's it. You would basically get all of the platforms if you drove a Tesla, which was originally why a lot of people, like me, when Uber first came out with the, when Uber first came out with the Hertz rental car program, it was a big hit because you got the chance to get a Tesla, and the Tesla had so many options in terms of platforms. It basically exposed people like me that was just in a normal X car. It exposed us to the other platforms. It exposed us to the other side of things, to being able to get higher tiered rides, to be able to, see different types of options. Because, when you just have a car, that's all you have, so that's all you're used to, that's all you know. You don't really know the other stuff until you're exposed to it, right? But that was a couple years ago now. What's 2 years ago? I don't really do too much Lyft, but on Lyft, at least back then, you used to have Lyft Basic, well, Lyft Standard. You then got Lyft Comfort, and then back then we used to have Lyft Lux on the Model 3, and if you had the Model Y, you still get Lyft Black. So, and then there was some configurations of the Model Y where you could get Lyft SUV if you had the third row in your Model Y. You guys know I'm a big proponent of having I'm a big proponent of the Tesla. I usually it just for what it gave and what the value it gave in terms of doing rideshare. Because for me, this is my business. There's people that do business in different ways. For me, this is my business. So the biggest thing about a business is you got to think about your costs. So obviously, I don't want a car that's just gonna break down, like a Taurus that's known for transmission issues, or a GMC that's known for like just engine issues. You can't really rely on a car that's gonna break down, right? That's a little tough. For what I do, I'm putting miles on the vehicle. Every day I'm putting miles on the vehicle. Um, and as I told you guys, I think I do about 100 to 300 miles every day. Again, this is my job. I'm in the transportation business. So you need a vehicle that's going to be able to handle that. So obviously, when it comes to vehicles, you might be thinking about a Honda vehicle, so like a Accord, CRV, a Civic. Um, you might be thinking about Toyota vehicles. You got the Camry, and then you got the RAV4. Um, Honda has some. I can't even say my words. Hyundai has some good vehicles. You just want something that's going to be a workforce. You know, you want a car that's going to be able to get you keep going, basically, that you can put some miles on. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. You want a vehicle that's going to be able to get you there and work for you, and still help allow you to make your money. Because driver being in the shop is tough. Being in the shop is tough. If you're constantly in the shop dealing with like little issues. Oh, I need to get an oil change. Oh, I need to service the engine. Oh, like it's if you're constantly dealing with little stuff, it takes away from your money. Definitely takes away from your money. Seeing little lights on the dashboard, you think, again, I'm a driver. So as a driver, you got to know that the passengers are looking at the lights on the dashboard. You know, they're not going to be like, oh, that's just Christmas. It's just Christmas up there. So yeah, but yeah, real quick, let's see. Karong, hello to you, Karong. Hello, hello. Jaren says play that new Kanye. Right? Yeah, what's up? What's up? Ashton and Sam for life. Hello, hello to you too. What's up? What's the question? What you got? What you got for me? What's the question? Okay. You said quick question. You said quick question. I'm waiting for the question. All right. Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. While we wait on Ashton's question, I guess. Uh, yeah, good morning. Good morning. I was just kind of, can you roast me? You'll be the first person today to roast me. Oh yeah, this is the wrong channel. I can't roast you, bro. Not a roaster. Um, not what I do here. But yeah, man. So yeah, as I was saying, so your vehicle is so important. Your vehicle is super important. So, what can you guys tell me? What do you think right now is the best vehicle to get for rideshare? And what do you think right now is the best vehicle? You got a couple different options. If you're looking at the EV side, I mean, of course, I'm still gonna say Tesla. You do have the Mustang. Mustang's a pretty good option. The Mach-E. Um, somebody in our group said the Lucid. Lucid would be a good option. Yeah, I doubt it, but hey, um, I mean, you do obviously have the Polestar. Um, mean, like, from what I've heard, those options like their seats are very like hard and it's not like comfortable and all of that stuff. So, but yeah, when you talk about EVs, you got a couple options now. It's starting to get better. It's starting to get more options. I still think that Tesla's leading the way. But when you talk about normal vehicles, if you're looking at SUVs, I would probably say the RAV4 is probably one of the better vehicles, especially if you can get it hybrid. Because now, if you get the RAV4 hybrid, you're looking at like 600 miles. That's a killer. 600 miles for what we do. You probably only gonna fill up once every couple days. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. And if you like me, you like the top before the beginning of the day. It's pretty good. I mean, the CRV is pretty good as well. Really, anything Toyota or Honda is like a go-to for me, in my opinion, just in terms of a workforce. You know that it's gonna last. 'Cause, y'all know we put a ton of miles. Like I said, I do 100 to 300 miles every day, easily. Easily. So, you know what I'm saying? When you're doing that much miles, I don't know, 300, that's, I'm probably putting on, I don't know, like 1,000, 2,000 a week. That's a lot of miles. Obviously, I'm doing maintenance. I would be doing a ton of maintenance with that type of mileage. So you need a car that's gonna be able to last, because that's the worst thing ever, to be trying to drive a passenger and your car is breaking down. Because you already know the passenger gonna report you. They gonna report you. They gonna call you every name in the book. And it's like, for what, man? You already know. You already know. So it's just, you gotta get a car that's a workforce. Like, wouldn't think like I said Honda, I said Toyota. I wouldn't think like an Audi is a really good car if you're gonna do a ride share. I definitely wouldn't think like, I mean, Lexus maybe, you know, um, depending on the Lexus. I mean, because the Lexus is used as a taxi cab in other countries, so I guess I can see that part. Mm, Definitely wouldn't think. Yeah, Lexus, Mercedes. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't think BMW. BMW would probably be a tough sell for me, because every little thing that goes wrong is like $1,000. All them damn sensors, it's like $1,000. Um, it's gonna be tough. That's gonna be a tough one. Hey, I mean, I've been seeing a ton of crazy cars lately doing rideshare. I've seen yesterday. I seen a truck, a Ford F-150, and I mean he had a dual cab too. See the F-150 doing rideshare. I'm like, whoa, that's crazy, right? That's a little different. If you doing it in a Ford F-150, I don't know about that. Picking up people, that's not that don't seem like a smart idea to me. Because you're gonna be wasting so much gas. Yeah, that's the other thing. So yeah, it's cool to have a vehicle that's gonna last, but you also have to think about gas mileage. Because yeah, you can make money, but if all you doing is spending it out for gas or spending it out for maintenance, it's like, well, what are you doing here? You're at a loss, and that's before you guys get to the depreciation and the taxes and all of that other stuff. We just talk about the basics. You know what I'm saying? That's that's important. You gotta have a vehicle that's really going that you could actually save some money with. You know. That's pretty important. Uh oh, what's up, accounting Tom? What's up, brother? What's up? What's up? Salute to you, sir. My weekend is going. My weekend is going. So right now it is Tortuga. Tortuga is right. It's Tortuga right now. That's why I kind of pulled over. Um, but it ain't really, it's not. Yeah, it's not really busy. I mean, it's busy, but it's not surging. I should say that it's not really surging. So, the rides that I'm taking aren't surge rides, if that makes sense. So, it's one of those tough ones. But my weekend is going. My weekend is definitely going. I want to make more money. I'm out here to make the money, but yeah, yeah. I think the evening is probably where it's gonna be at. I'm hoping that it picks up in the evening. But yeah, it's gone. But salute to you too, sir. Yeah, yeah. Salute to you too, sir. I'm hoping that it picks up. Definitely hoping that it picks up. Uh, but like I said, it is Tortuga, so Tortuga is basically Ultra. I had a really good Ultra weekend. So I mean, Ultra is in Miami, Tortuga's in Fort Lauderdale. So yeah, I'm hoping that it picks up. I'm hoping that it picks up. Because there's obviously money to be made, but it's just, yeah, yeah, yeah. But my weekend's going, bro. My weekend is definitely going. Um, how about yourself? How's everything? All is good. All is well. Um, but yeah, so I don't know, because I'm kind of also in the market for a vehicle. Been saying this for a while. I think I'm gonna actually trigger. So obviously, I'm leaning towards Tesla. You guys know that. You kind of guessed that. I'm thinking I'm just buy Tesla and just move on. But with the way that things have recently kind of popped off, um, so the Model Y just so they are taking the Model Y off of Lyft Black. Obviously, we know that they plan to take it off of Premier eventually. Um, yeah, yeah. It's kind of like obviously, I'm not gonna get a Model S or a Model X to do rideshare. Um, I'm just not willing to spend that type of money on a vehicle that And then you get these customers that be scratching up the car and all of that stuff. I'm not willing to do that because the first scratch, I'll be ready to fight. If I get a big and these customers get in and they start doing all that crazy stuff in the back seat, I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to fight, and that's not a good thing. So yeah, I was leaning towards getting the Model Y, but honestly, I think I think I'm gonna just get a Model 3. It's either right now what it's looking like for me is either I'm gonna just get a Model 3 and just keep, so I stop renting, or I'm gonna just get a RAV4 and try to get hybrid. Because hybrid cars are, I mean the maintenance is expensive, but you get the 600 miles, 600 plus miles to the gas tank, so that I guess that kind of evens it out. The maintenance is crazy on a hybrid vehicle, though. You can't. I mean, from what I've heard, obviously I've never had a hybrid vehicle, but from what I've heard, the maintenance goes up because it's a hybrid. You got to be careful. It ain't just regular components there. It's connected. So yeah, the maintenance. From what I've heard, the maintenance goes up. So, but I am definitely leaning towards getting out of renting right now, so I can just save up some money. I can kind of stockpile a couple of dollars, because I got to make some moves, man. I got to make some moves. Uh, as of right now, I feel a little, I feel like there's things that's happening that I could have been partaking on, but I haven't really been stockpiling the money like I needed to. I've been enjoying the fact that I could do, 2, 3 rides as opposed to grinding it out during that time and actually making more money. you know. So it's all good. Life goes on. But yeah, I don't know. So this question is more so like I'm more so looking at vehicles and from that standpoint because I'm actually like really on the verge of just pulling the trigger. Um, Obviously, you guys know my credit isn't the greatest, so for me, I have to put down a large down payment. If it wasn't for the down payment, I probably would have been in a Model Y a long time ago. Just for me, they want a large down payment for me, and which is okay. It's life. But yeah, so like it's always said, you don't want to buy a car specifically for rideshare. But so like in my case, this is my full time position at least right now. So it's a little different. You got to make decisions based on my job, and my job is rideshare. So, but that's why I'm having a conversation with you guys. Um, what are you guys thinking? What's your favorite car right now? Anybody thinking anything? Um, because I mean, there's a bunch of different options. I don't think you would go wrong if I'm being honest. Obviously I'm EV. I'm an EV guy. I'm a Tesla guy. That's just what it is. Even with all of the backlash and all of that stuff, I still prefer a Tesla. You tell me that I can fill up for like 10, $15. I'm down for that. Then you tell me that I don't have to drive the car, I can just let it drive for itself. I'm down for that. But on the flip side, I can see how like if you get in a hybrid, especially that RAV4 is looking pretty sexy. I'm not gonna lie. Um, if you get that in a hybrid version, you get like 600 miles. That's pretty good, bro. I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty good. You talking about a vehicle that can go. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't get it brand new. That's if you get a brand new vehicle, I don't know about all that. um, I would always say get a used vehicle. You know, obviously, when you drive it off the lot, you lose whatever value from it. So yeah, I would always go with used. But even in that, I feel like you know if you can get it, there's some deals to be made. Now we do. The other thing is you do have to remember there's a lot of the tariffs are coming up. So if you're in the market for a vehicle, those tariffs are coming. Those tariffs are coming. So you kind of want to pull that trigger if you're in the market for a vehicle because those tariffs is gonna change the game. Those tariffs are gonna change the game. It's gonna make it a lot more expensive. Just because we import everything, you know. So because we import everything, those tariffs is gonna make things expensive. Because back in the day, yeah, I mean, from what I've seen back in the day, you had Detroit, Motor City, GMC, Ford, Chrysler, you had all of the big guys in one area. But once they started learning, listen, I could go to China and pay half the price, a quarter of the price. That's where they went. Which you can't get mad at, it's the same concept. If you used to paying 50, $60, and then I tell you, listen, you go down the street to this one gas station and I can get you some gas for like $10. You gonna go to the gas station that I'm telling you about for $10. It just makes sense. You want to save money. Everybody wants to save money. That's 100%. So when we talk about like what's the best ride share, what's the best car, what's the best vehicle for ride share, you got to look at it from all the angles. Like, what are you going to make the most money with, or what are you going to be able to keep the most money with? Um, and that's kind of what it what it comes down to. What vehicle can you keep the most money? Because like obviously, if we talking about like a suburban, yeah, you're gonna make some money because it's a big vehicle. It's a suburban. The Suburbans are huge. You're gonna make some money with a suburban, especially down here. You're gonna make some good money because it's a suburban. You can command a higher price. You're doing you're getting the premieres, the SUV. You're getting the XLs. You getting those big rides. But then again, it's like you also got to remember how much gas are you spending? You know what I'm saying? Because those Suburbans, they only get what, you know, 16 $16 to the mile or whatever. Um, it's like, are you really like, yeah, I mean, if you making that good money, then yeah, sure. But it's like you gotta make the money. You gotta make it. So it's definitely I'm sorry, I just had to make sure I had to make sure she didn't hit my car. Yeah, you guys can't see, but yeah, she was of course, it's so many parking spaces out here. So I'm just sitting in the parking lot, so many parking spaces. But of course, they want us parked as close to me as possible. It just makes sense, right? It always happens. I park in the easiest space. I'm not around nobody, but you always gotta have those people that just want to park right up on you. Yeah, so yeah, I was like, yeah, I kind of forgot. I lost track of what I was thinking about because I'm like, yeah, you hit my car, it's gonna be on. But that's what we're talking about. The vehicle. Vehicle is important. For what we do, for what I do, my channel is primarily on Uber drivers. Your vehicle is absolutely important. That's one of the biggest reasons why I prefer to rent. Because if you're renting, I don't worry about the depreciation cost that you guys talk about. I don't care how many miles I put on the vehicle. It's not mine. I don't have to sell it at the end of the day. Uh, so like I get tired of it, I walk away. Ain't mine. You know what I'm saying? It get a flat tire. Hey, your car got a flat tire. You know what I'm saying? Hey, get into an accident. Hey, your car got into an accident. It ain't my responsibility. It's their responsibility. They have to now come out of pocket. They have to now take care of all of those costs. But when it's mine, all of that becomes my problem. you know, all of that falls on me because it's my vehicle. Um, you pay more up front, obviously, because of that reason. But on the back end, I just walk away. But when it's yours, you don't walk away from that. You got to get told somewhere, so you got to find a place where it's gonna get told at. You got to go. You got to have it towed to the shop. You got to talk to the insurance adjuster. You got to do all of that stuff because it's your vehicle. Um, yeah, it's your when it's yours. You got to handle that type of information. So yeah, when you talk about what's the best vehicle, all of that stuff plays a part. It absolutely plays a part. What is the best vehicle? Because even in that sense, if it breaks down, which we know that vehicles break down, you got to be able to afford the repair. When you see them Suburbans, when they go down, it's expensive. It ain't it ain't cheap. If you doing this in a BMW, when it goes down, it's not a cheap repair, because of all of the sensors and stuff like that. Now on the flip side, if you talking about like a little Honda, where the parts are fairly like genuine, well you can get Honda parts pretty much anywhere, your repair costs go down. And I mean, yes, the common sense answer is do the repair yourself. That's the common sense answer. Everybody says do the repair yourself. But what if you don't want to do it yourself? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if you don't want to fix the car yourself? What if you can't fix the car yourself? Eh, that's gonna play a part. So, you know what I'm saying? You going to the shop and you getting beat in the head because you can't physically fix your car. You got to make sure that you're getting a vehicle that's easy to fix. Like Chrysler, for example. Chrysler likes to put certain parts in random areas where you got to remove whole panels. You can just imagine that's gonna make when you do have to change your oil, when you do have to replace something, it's gonna make it way more expensive. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna just be a little one, two, three type of repair. It's gonna be a repair that's gonna take a while. So you're gonna have to pay for it. So where, my repair might be, 20, 30, $40, your repair gonna be 100, 120, 200, 300. And just because that's the way it happens. Um, yeah, I'm sorry. So yeah, when you talk about like what's the best vehicle for rideshare, all of that stuff has to play a part, you know. So that's why for me, I'm still gonna say, yeah, I'm still gonna be I know that there's a lot of backlash. I know, nobody likes Elon. Okay, all right. In terms of the vehicle though, the vehicle, I'm still gonna go with Tesla. I'm still gonna go with a Model Y. I still think the Model Y is the best vehicle. Even though it's losing the platforms, I still think the Model Y is the best vehicle. Just because that maintenance factor. You looking at with if you're not talking about an EV, you're talking about regular maintenance is oil changes, regular maintenance is tune-ups, and you're talking about what's up tune-ups, so that's spark plugs. You're talking about the alternators going bad, the starters going bad. You're talking about the regular batteries going bad. You know what I'm saying? Like you talking about brakes and rotors, always getting those done. That, that is regular maintenance. And then yeah, you're talking about the tires. That's regular maintenance for a normal vehicle. When you come to an EV, more so the Tesla, that goes out to the window because it's like, what are you replacing? There's no engine, so you don't have an alternator that's gonna go bad. There's no engine. I mean, there's a little small engine, yeah, yeah, yeah. But like in the grand scheme of things, there's no engine up front. You know what I'm saying? There's no, it's not a lot of moving parts. You go from all these moving parts, especially like when you're pressing on the gas in a normal car, you got that piston going around. The piston is pumping and it's pumping engine, it's pumping power to the engine, it's pushing through what I'm saying? Like it's pushing through all of the fluids and all of that stuff. And that's how you're going. In a EV, it's immediate. It's immediate. You just going. So yeah, when you talk about maintenance, there's no maintenance. Just the tires and the windshield wiper fluid. And the other stuff that could go wrong is usually covered under warranty. But again, most likely it's not. I mean, I know that there's that off chance, but most likely you're going to get a vehicle that's going to go 100, 200, 300,000 miles or more. And like everybody says when they talk about the EV, oh my gosh, but what happens if the battery goes bad? Okay, you talking about 8 grand. 8 grand for a brand new car. Which at that point you would probably be looking for anyway. You can't beat it. You can't beat that. You just can't beat that. Okay, what if it's 15 grand? Okay, you were still gonna spend 15 grand on a brand new car. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like, okay, you replace the battery in the EV, it's a brand new car. There's what else is it there that you're gonna replace? And in a regular car, in a normal car, in a engine combustible car, you got to replace the engine at 100, 150,000 miles. You got to replace the transmission at 100, 150,000 miles, which those two alone are probably way over 8 grand, depending on who you go to, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Replacing the engine alone is probably like 8 grand. Well, I say like 5, 6 grand. Again, it depends on who you're talking to, because a lot of people charge like 4 or 5 grand in labor. Then you got to buy the engine, and then you got to hope that the engine will last. The different, you're getting. Most people are going to get a used engine at that point. If you got to replace, if anybody here has replaced their engine, you probably replaced it with a second-hand engine because engines are not cheap. They're not cheap. Ain't nobody just gonna replace an engine with a brand new engine. I mean, in terms of like the cost, you gonna get a cheap engine. Well, you're gonna get a used engine, in other words. It's not gonna be brand new. So if it's not brand new, it ain't covered under warranty. And you just kind of crossing your fingers hoping that it's gonna run another 100, 200, 300,000 miles. As opposed to on the flip side with an EV, with a Tesla, when I replace my battery, that's covered under warranty. Now it is they're still, I guess you could technically say it's used. They're just kind of swapping the cells and stuff, but it's under warranty. So if anything happens for the next 50, I think it's 50,000 miles, I'm covered. So hopefully something happens under that under that time, and like I can get they take it back and they replace it again. You know. So yeah, when you talk about like kind of to wrap it all up, man, because I feel like I'm just talking to myself. Y'all don't want to talk to me today. It's all good. When you talk about the best vehicle for rideshare right now in 2025, there's a lot of options. I got to be honest. It's all about how you want to drive. You got to look at all of the options. So um, you got the SUVs with the Rav4, the CRV. Those are probably the two easiest ones that I could talk about because they're the most popular. The Honda CRV and the Rav4. Literally number one and number two in terms of being what was sold the most. I think the Rav4 was the most sold vehicle last year in 2024. So, and then the CRV is right behind it. Those are mid-size SUVs, but I mean, well, crossover SUVs, but those were the most sold. So, I'm pretty sure most people have those. Those are the easiest ones. They're super reliable. They're easy to fix, because it's Toyota and Honda. They don't kill you with they don't kill you with parts. You know what I'm saying? They don't kill you with parts, which is the beautiful thing. They don't kill you with parts, and they're known for reliability. Again, it's not an Infinity. It's not a Mitsubishi. I can't even say the word now. It's not a Mitsubishi. It's not a Chrysler. Has those transmission issues. Like it's Honda and it's Toyota. So you got the SUVs, and then on the flip side, you got the regular sedans, which is what I prefer. I prefer a car. You got the Honda Accord and the Toyota Camry. Again, two of the most sold vehicles out there. It's easy. You know what I'm saying? That's cars. They both are gonna go good, and you can get hybrid versions of all of these vehicles. And now you're just saving. Well, you're saving even more. You're gonna pay a little bit more up front, but you're saving even more on gas because hybrid vehicles generally get 600 miles plus, 500, 600 miles to the gallon. I mean, to the tank, not to the gallon. 'Cause that would be crazy. But yeah, I like in my case, I do about 100 to 300 miles a day. So if I'm really getting after it, I'm barely at half a tank with 600 miles. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, obviously, you could go with like the big boy Suburbans, the GMC, the Chrysler. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, you can go with the big boy, you know, or you get the XT6, the Cadillac, the QX60. You can go with those types of vehicles. Well, I would really say the QX90, but you can get like one of the big boys. Um, but with the big boys, you got more maintenance costs. You get a Suburban, you're gonna pay Suburban prices. It ain't just a little quick little $20, $30 oil change. But again, if that's your style, that's what you want to do. It comes with you gotta pay the cost to be a big boy. Gotta pay the cost to be the boss. And then now on the flip side, when you talk about what I like, and that's the EV, the electric market, um, Tesla's right now still the king. Tesla is still the king, even with all of the issues, even with Elon Musk and all how you feel about him. The cars are still the king. You can't because it's just hard to say that you have another EV that's better. Nobody is beating Tesla's charging network. That's why everybody is like literally signing up to be on Tesla's network. You know what I'm saying? In terms of the seamlessness and all of that stuff, it's Tesla. But I'm not gonna keep saying that. Then you got the Mustang Mach-E, which is probably, if I'm being honest, for what we do, the Mach-E is pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I would probably go with the Mach-E if I wasn't going. If I wasn't going with Tesla, I would go with the Mach-E easily because it's a nice car. People like it. It's Mustang. You know what I'm saying? It's a brand that people like. Eh, you know. Spacious on the inside. So yeah, I would probably go Mach-E if I wasn't going Model Y, I would probably go Mach-E. You know. And then of course you got the Polestar, you got the Polaris, you got the. I don't know if people really do the Prius, the plug-in version. I don't know if people really do that. I mean, of course, you still got the Prius. Um, yeah, and then you got the EV6 or whatever. I think it's the EV6, EV9 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You got some other cars out there. There's other cars out there. It's all about like just what you want to do. But for me, and what I want to do, I'm still gonna go to Model Y. Listen, I got nothing to do with how you feel about Elon and his practices, and I ain't got nothing to do with that. The car itself is still a good car. But yeah, so yeah. With that being said, man, I'm gonna get out of here. I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit. Talk to you guys a little bit, kind of chat about that because we was having a conversation in the group. Thought it was an interesting conversation to you know, bring to the channel because right now there have been some changes. Definitely been some changes. They trying to knock Tesla off the throne right now for the best. If the Model Y still had Premiere and it still had the black, I think it's still the best car. You know, I mean, if you get the top platforms, you get the low platforms, and then you get a workhorse that can do all of them. I would still say it's the best vehicle, but it's a little tough because they're knocking off of for those top categories. So you can't say it's the best. It's still a better foot vehicle to do. But yeah, man. Yeah. With that being said, man, I'm out of here. I just want to say, I always love you guys. Anybody that tuned in, you watching the video, I love you guys. Appreciate you. If you got any questions, any comments, I mean, this video was more so. This live stream was more so about the best vehicle. You got your ideas, you got your thoughts and opinions. Leave them down in below. Leave them down in the comments below. If you're not a part of the Telegram group, we are trying to create a group, a community of drivers all over the world. I'm gonna be honest, it is very biased to South Florida because the people from other places don't really talk. Y'all don't really talk to us. So listen, it's gonna be Florida. It's gonna be Florida 100%. Florida all day. And when I say Florida, it's gonna be South Florida. Just because y'all don't talk. But the goal, the hope is one day we'll have a community of drivers. So everybody can just kind of come in and we can talk. These are technically your coworkers, hopefully. Um, but yeah, as of right now, it's more so South Florida based. So yeah, it's really South Florida based right now. So we trying to build. We trying to build. So the link is in the description. If you want to join the Telegram group, yeah, the link is definitely in the description. Just to answer Paul C's question, am I still able to do $200 a day? Yes. I just have to change my strategy. Yeah, so like yesterday I did 250. Yeah, it's absolutely possible. The money's there. You just gotta, I can't do my normal strategy, my peaceful strategy, where I'm sitting down sleeping all day. But yeah, like I said, so I'm gonna cut out a lot of hours. So welcome to my channel. All right, guys.